Have you changed your underwear lately? Bill Baker.
Well, have you? Contest chair and fellow Toastmasters, have you changed your underwear lately? I'm sure the person sitting next to you really hopes that you did. But why do you need to change your underwear? Because if you don't, it will stink. And that stench can hold you back from getting the things that you really want out of life. Now, most of you change your underwear daily. Most of you. Steve, we need to talk. But there is something all of us have that stinks. And even though it stinks, many of us will never change it. Do you know what it is? It's our thinking. Every one of us, each one of us, has a little negative voice in our head that repeatedly says things to us like, you can't do it. You're not good enough. You don't deserve it. That's called stinking thinking. And just like wearing smelly underwear, stinking thinking will hold you back from getting the things that you really want out of life. But how does stinking thinking begin? Well, experts say that our negative beliefs about ourselves actually come from the things said to us by other people. People like our parents, teachers, friends, and others. So our stinking thinking is actually the wrong opinions of other people that we, at some point in our life, believe. And once we believe it, we actually work to make it come true. Recently, I saw how it begins. I was in the elevator of my building where I live, and a grandmother got on with a granddaughter, and the little girl was about 4 or 5 years old. Well, the elevator was crowded, and the grandmother was trying to get the little girl to move into a certain area, but the little girl just didn't understand what grandma wanted. Finally, when the little girl got it, the grandmother took her precious face in her hands and she said, "Oh, you're so beautiful, but not too bright." Can you imagine how those words will affect that little girl? Because experts say that children tend to believe what they're told about themselves. So if that little girl grows up thinking, "Grandma said I'm not too bright," that thought will hold her back in life, just as if her grandmother had given her a pair of foul-smelling underwear and said, "Here, you wear these for the rest of your life." That's what happened to me. No, not the smelly underwear part. But my thinking was stinking. Let me explain to you how it began. I was about 7 years old, and I was at home. My sister was in her room with my cousin. She's my older sister. Now they're in the room listening to music and dancing, and me being a rambunctious little boy, I burst into the room and I started boogieing. It was then that my cousin said to me, "Billy, look at you. You can't dance. You dance like a drunk monkey." And they laughed at me. I was devastated. And from that point on, I believed that I couldn't dance. Why? Because someone who I trusted told me so. Well, how do we get rid of this negative chatter in our heads? Well, ladies, let me ask you. If you saw that your man had an old, worn-out pair of underwear, what would you tell him? Wouldn't you say, "You need to throw these things out"? Well, it's the same with stinking thinking. It needs to be thrown out. That's what happened to me. Because remember I was telling you how I sincerely believed that I couldn't dance? Well, some years later, I got a girlfriend. And she loved to dance. She helped me, and I really improved. I mean, I really improved. As a matter of fact, recently, I was at my hospital's Christmas party. and I was having a good time. I mean, I was dancing with all the women. Well, 2 days after the party, I got a surprise phone call from Renee in Human Resources. And she said, Bill, we're going to be starting Zumba classes here at the hospital for our employees. And we saw you dancing at the Christmas party, and we asked around and got your name and phone number. What we'd like to know is if you would be interested in becoming a Zumba instructor and lead our classes, and we'll pay for your training. Well, I agreed, and I became a certified Zumba instructor. So yeah, I can dance. The most important conversation you will ever have in your life is the one you have with yourself. So when you look in the mirror, what do you say? Is it something negative like, you're so stupid, you're an idiot, or maybe even, no one could ever love you? Well, if you say anything like that, please remember that those are just the wrong opinions of other people. It's not true. It's fake news. You deserve to have the best life possible. So please, no more stinking thinking. Change your thoughts, and you will change your life. Contest chair.